Hello, hello. Good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to the unique space. I hope everybody's feeling good today. I hope everybody had a great week. I hope everybody's cool. Welcome to episode 4. And before we begin, I just want to say thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Thank you for watching, for listening to the unique space. This is my 4th episode, and I'm not going to hold you. I'm not feeling like myself today, but I feel like I got to get up and do what I got to do. So that's how we did that. We did that. Okay, get it together. My bad. Episode 4. Episode 4 is we're talking about boundaries. hmm We're talking about boundaries. Boundaries. Because some people don't have none. This episode is titled Boundaries Do Not Mean Disrespect. But sometimes a no is necessary. I'm going to run that back for you. The title for episode 4, Boundaries Do Not Mean Disrespect. Because sometimes a no becomes necessary. Just because I say no, don't mean I'm disrespecting you, don't mean I love you any less. We just need boundaries because obviously you don't know how to not do too much. So that's where boundaries come into play. And because I did not do a scripture for episode 3, I'm going to give y'all 2 today. That's what's on my heart. That's how I feel. So that's what we doing. Okay. The first one, Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Again, Proverbs 4:23. Above all, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. How does that resonate with you? Please drop a comment and let me know, because I know I need that for today. Definitely need that for today. Second scripture, Matthews 5:37. Okay? Let your yes be a yes and let your no be a no. Anything beyond that comes from the evil one. I don't need to repeat that because that one is literally uh huh. Let your yes be a yes and let your no be a no. Stop second guessing yourself. Because when you second guessing yourself, that's the one, the little red one on the other shoulder. Yep. Respectfully. Me personally, with boundaries, I've learned the hard way. I've learned that me, I let things build up. I used to, past tense, let things build up before I'd be like, you know what, you doing things that I don't like. Instead of nipping stuff in the ASS when it's occurring or right after it's occurred. We just let stuff happen and be like, oh no, make an excuse for people. That's what we're gonna call that. So I've learned the hard way. People will cross your boundaries if you never set them. Even when you set them and make them aware, they still cross them because they think they got it like that. However, loving people don't mean that they are allowed to drain you. Loving people does not mean they are allowed to drain you. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Mental check in. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Mentally, emotionally, y'all good? I'm not. But that's a story for another day. But we cool right now. But we not all the way there. It's been a long week. It's been a real long week. However, we gonna keep it pushing because that's what we do. We're gonna talk it out. We're gonna keep it pushing because what else can we do? What are boundaries really like? What are boundaries for you? What are boundaries for me? For me, boundaries are something that are extremely necessary. But I'm gonna give you the definition of boundaries. The definition of boundaries are something that indicates or fixes a limit or extend. That's the definition of the word boundaries, right? However, boundaries don't always have to be a punishment. Boundaries don't always have to be disrespect. Boundaries don't always have to be you classified as acting funny. Just because a person set a boundary with you don't mean any of those three things are the reason for it. Like, I'm not setting a boundary with you to punish you. I'm not setting a boundary with you to disrespect you. I'm not setting a boundary with you to act funny. I'm setting a boundary with you because I have self respect. I know how to protect my peace. And respectfully, boundaries is a form of maturity. Honestly, like as adults, it's a form of emotional maturity because I can obviously regulate my feelings enough to set a boundary so you don't cross them and we don't go to a place where we don't need to go. However, however, people still do what people still do what they want. And I think a lot of people mistake boundaries for being controlled or trying to be controlling. Why am I why is anybody looked at as a bad person because of what they won't allow? If I don't allow people to curse at me, why does that make me disrespectful? Why does that make me out of order? Why does that make me not staying in my place? Why does that make me acting funny? If you're doing things to me that I don't like, let's keep in mind, nobody, we're not children. You feel me? Kids have kids are allowed to have boundaries too. If you go to your grandma's house, you take your kids to your grandma's house and they don't want to be kissed on, they don't want to be hugged. That's a boundary. That's a personal boundary that your child could have expressed to you that they don't want. You are allowed to set boundaries. Boundaries are put in place to protect. If you love somebody enough to tolerate them, you should love them enough to provide boundaries for them. Word. I strongly feel that way because if you love somebody or you don't want to mess up a relationship that you have with somebody, boundaries are necessary. Because some people really just don't. Some people are not self aware. They don't know that whatever they're doing is irritating, annoying, or X, Y, and Z. Some people really don't know that. So if you don't know somebody, if you don't tell somebody that they're crossing your boundaries or that they're not respecting your boundaries, how would they know? How would they know? No, for real. How would they know? They wouldn't know. You have to tell them like you're doing a lot. Relax. But we're gonna speak on family boundaries. I feel like everybody can relate here, and I'm gonna be honest. I think the only person in my family who will cross a boundary and not care is my it's my grandma. Like, and if you know me, if you know my grandma, you know Miss Barbara to y'all don't care. My grandma don't care. And it's gotten worse as she got older. As she gets older, it's just worse. Like she don't care. She respectfully do not care. She collectively do not care. She's so unbothered by if you're being bothered. She don't care. I feel like family overstep boundaries more than anybody because they lack accountability and they put these emotional expectations on you because of who you may be to them as far as relations. Like your mom will overstep boundaries and she thinks she can because she's your mother. Same thing with your father, your sister, your brother, whoever. People think because they have a title as far as family that they could do what they want. And it's literally always the elders because y'all know we're not kids no more, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not that fearful person that I probably used to be of you, and I'm not a child. So the same way you want respect from me, you need to respect my boundaries. You need to respect me. Respect is given when it's received. You can't just demand or request respect because of a title. I don't think that's cool. Like whether you raise me, it's that was you one, that's what you were supposed to do. Two, as an adult and even as a child, though, I don't want to keep saying as an adult, kids have boundaries too. The same way we do. they're entitled to have boundaries. That'll make them grown and that'll make them disrespectful. They are allowed to have boundaries. If I don't want you touching me, don't touch me. If I don't like people talking close to my face, if I don't like to answer anybody outside of my parents, I don't have to. They don't have to. And I think in today's society, granted, we all know how we grew up. Fine. Kids are allowed to have a boundary. And every time they feel something or state how they feel, it shouldn't make them grown. And we shouldn't say stuff to them like, oh, well, when I was younger. Because I know I'll be doing that to Destiny. But Destiny don't get in trouble the way we did. Or she don't get the treatment that we did either. Because my girl is spoiled. Spoiled as ever. But I think kids have boundaries too. And I think we should respect them. We're not supposed to be raising our kids how we was raised anyway. So that's that. That's also a story for another day. That's just my opinion. And when it comes to family boundaries, I think the biggest thing that people sit on is I raised you. So because you're my mother, you shouldn't have boundaries. So because you're my father, you shouldn't have boundaries. Yeah, no. And when a boundary is crossed, we have to learn to sit on how things make us feel. We need to sit, take in, and then execute what we're going to do. I think a lot of people, myself included, we just react off emotion. That was me. I'm gonna share a personal experience with y'all of my boundaries being crossed. I had a friend for years, and I'm a firm believer that just because y'all been friends for years don't mean that certain things are okay to take place. Like I don't like friendships that's like, oh, we've been friends for 15 years when y'all didn't speak 7 of those 15 years. And then after those 7 years of not speaking, maybe on and off, every time y'all stop speaking, it's because somebody crossed the boundary. If I have a friend and I can't tell you, like, yo, you wildin', like, you doing too much, you keep doing stuff and saying stuff that I don't like, why I gotta keep telling you the same thing? And then when I do voice how I feel, when I voice my boundary and you continue to do what you want and I do what I want and step back or I just let it be known. Like I've been on this not holding back little journey I got going because it works for me. So if and when you do something to me that I don't like, we not texting it. We no, actually this incident we was texting because okay, I'm gonna just say it. I had a friend who always call me. As y'all know, I work overnight. So during the day I'm asleep. If I'm up and I take your phone call, cool. However, when I'm asleep, ringing my phone down for what? One, that's inconsiderate. Knowing that I have to go to work on overnight. Two, to talk about nothing or to complain about a nigga. I'm sorry. Or to complain about a person you're dating, a dude. It don't matter who you complaining about. But if that's what you calling me for to wake me up out of my sleep, and then you be like, oh, I'm gonna call you back. And y'all could sit here in front, like stuff like that don't bother you. But I'm gonna keep it a stack. I do not like that. And I told her this time and time again. Maybe it was swept under the rug. Maybe she didn't think I was serious. I don't know. But I know one last time irritated me. I be in school when I'm in class. If my phone ring to my friends that I speak to in regular, if my mother call me in class, if I miss it, I'll go call her back when I see it. But if I see it and I'm in class, I'll step out because I don't know what could be going on. Mind you, these people know when I'm at class and they know when I'm in school. So, okay, it got to be an emergency, right? No. Yo, let me tell you what happened. I'm just like, bro, okay, okay. And I take full accountability. I used to be that friend. I'll listen to you. Isn't that what your friend's supposed to do? I'll let you vent, do whatever. However, stop calling me to be on the phone for 2 seconds and then be like, oh, I'm going to call you back. That is the quickest way to irritate me. That's why I don't answer my phone. Honestly, I don't answer my phone because one, like I said, when I'm at work, nobody's on the phone with me. Nobody's up at night talking to me when I go on a swing or when I got a little layover. Nobody's talking to me. So when I'm asleep or when I get a little time to myself and I'm not in school, don't call my phone with your foolishness. My girl used to call me. Let me tell you what happened with such and such. Yeah, because it's 10:30. Yo, this is how I'm feeling. One, and I'm gonna be completely honest. Every time you call me, you got a problem, bro. You don't think I get drained? You don't think maybe I had a bad day, or, and I get it. I get it. You're supposed to be somebody's friend. You're supposed to, that's cool. I don't gotta be drained to be your friend. And I stated that, like, bro, you irritating me. All of this hanging, all of this calling and hanging up for 2 seconds. Don't call me back. I think I didn't speak to her for like 2 days because I needed to just not be bothered. And then when she hit me, she said something smart. And I'm just like, bro, I don't feel like talking. Like, you call me for 2 seconds to say I'm going to call you back. Stop calling me. Just text me. And that turned into a whirlwind of God knows what. And that's why I'm like, you know what? At that moment, I realized that she didn't respect my boundaries. And it'd be so bad that sometimes I got to get a second opinion because am I bugging? Am I bugging? I text my hairstylist like to get her opinion, and then my other friend because I know I'm not bugging out. Like, I give people the space to vent to me. I love that for you. I love that I could be that friend for you. However, every time you call me, you got an issue. There's no way you got a problem every day. You have a bad day every day. Why? Why? And if you do, sometimes you could keep that to yourself. If every time you call me, you got a problem, you gotta take a step back sometime and think, damn, am I draining her? Am I doing the most? And when I said that, oh my goodness, you talking about World War III? Like, what's the issue? I don't like relationships, and I haven't spoken to this person since this conversation. I don't like conversations where I can't express myself and it just be that. Especially if I already set a boundary, we talked about it, and you still doing it. And then it's like, oh, but we this, that, and the third, it's not that serious. That's the quickest way to get on my nerve. If I set a boundary and you cross it, and then you try to come up with other reasons why it should be okay that you crossed a boundary that I set for myself for you, don't worry about it. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not going back and forth. We're not texting. We're not doing. You got it. You just won't hear from me again. Because I don't have to overly explain myself for nobody. I'm not doing it. You got friends who can't take accountability. And I mean, like, it turned into a full blown something it didn't have to be. Not because I voiced my not because I voiced my opinion on how she was violating my boundaries, but because of how I said it. And as females, y'all know what I'm talking about. And even with dudes, probably somebody will come up to you, do something you don't like, and you will address it. Forget the fact as to why you had to address anything anyway. Now they just want to point out how you addressed it, how you said it. It didn't tell you that you didn't have to address whatever you addressed, how you did so. Like, I am 30 something years old. I don't need friends that bad. If you're going to stress me out as a friend and not respect boundaries, I don't need you as a friend. I don't care how long I've known you. It's too much. It's too much. I already deal with enough in my own personal life, and here you come bombard me with your problems, ask you not to do it. And we not focusing on the fact that you keep crossing my boundaries. We talking about how I addressed you crossing my boundaries. Girl was like, oh, I don't know who you talking to like that. Are you 10? Are you 10? And to be honest, I'm extremely sarcastic. If I want to be, I'm gonna be that. But if you know who you're dealing with and you know how a person gonna take stuff, you're not, as a mature adult, you're not gonna egg on the situation because it's not necessary. You already know who you're dealing with and how the crash out gonna act. So the whole conversation turned into who you talking to like that. You don't gotta say this, that, and the third like that. And I'm like, yo, this is a pattern and I'm not doing it. Have a good day. That's it. We don't gotta speak no more. If I'm weird, as soon as you start addressing stuff that bother you with people who don't want to hear it, you become everything in the book. If you can't relate, I love that for you. But for those who can, soon as you start doing something that people don't want to acknowledge or take accountability for, it's you. You the problem. As an adult, I have no problem taking accountability for anything that I do to anybody. If I One thing I'm not is I'm not a person who apologizes. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. If I'm not sorry, I'm not saying it. Take it how you want. And I don't think that's being childish. If I'm not sorry, I'm not telling you sorry. Sorry you feel that way. But if I'm not sorry, I'm not saying sorry. Especially if I ain't do nothing. And that situation, I still don't speak to that person to this day. Because you're not gonna irritate me. I don't care how long I've known you. I don't care how long we've been friends. If I can't be like, yo, you keep doing and saying stuff that I don't like, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that or say anything like that to me. Bro, What's the issue? Why does this have to be more than what it is? Now we not even addressing what you did. As a friend, right? You're supposed to be an adult. You know what? You're right. I keep calling you for nothing. I'm calling you, hanging up, telling you I'm gonna call you back. Mind you, you calling me to complain about this dude. As soon as he called you, you hang. You just call, don't call me. I'm telling you, don't call me. Just send me a text. I don't want to talk. I do not want to talk. Don't call my phone. You irritating me now. Irritating the life out of me. Don't call me. Don't call me. Oh, it's not that serious. Who you talking to? This, that, and the third, bro. That's what you want to address. That's what you want to do. You're too old for that. Have a good day. I'm not doing that with you. I'm not doing that with you. In all honesty, I'm cool. Like I said, you be friends with people and they think, oh, we've been friends for 50 years. She know I'm like this. I hope y'all hold your friends accountable when they do stuff like that. And granted, if I do know how you are, why do you want to be that way? If you know it's like, don't be that way. At some point in time, that, oh, I'm just like this, or that's just how they are, that's corny. Grow up. Nobody want to hear that. And nobody's entitled to deal with that. Just got irritated all over again. That day was so mad. Like, I was like, why are people like this? Like, that's so unnecessary. We're not even addressing the fact that you just blew mine. Now we talking about how I said what I said. Have a good day. I'm not arguing with you. I feel like the way I deal with people crossing my boundaries, especially friends, I just don't tolerate it. I used to tolerate stuff, but now I don't because I don't want to and I don't have to. If I address something once, I may do it twice if if I feel like it, but I'm not doing it more than one time. We are not children. And I think the hardest part about addressing boundaries and trying to set them is feeling guilty. I'm not going to front. I used to feel like, damn, am I ODing? Like, is it that serious? But if it's troubling you, it's that serious. If it's bothering you and you second guessing wanting to set boundaries with somebody, set them. If you're going to be misunderstood for it, cool. You'll be a little bit more at peace. They'll be all right. If distance starts to develop in a relationship that you set boundaries in, they never respected you from the beginning. If distance starts to develop in a relationship that you set boundaries in, they didn't respect you from the beginning. That's simple. As soon as you set boundaries for yourself, you acting funny. You moving different. Now you think you better than people. That's ironic. Like, I set a boundary for myself and now I'm a new person. You gotta relax. It was never that serious. It was never that serious. Like, why you can't just respect my boundaries and it be that? Why you gotta come with all this extra stuff? It's not necessary. It's not necessary at all. But that's my personal experience. I don't really have to set boundaries with my family because honestly, I don't. I don't be around. I don't be around. And when I call everybody, cool, calm, and collective, I don't really have to set boundaries with nobody. I don't. So, like the whole family boundary thing, I don't. I can't really relate. Not that I could recall. Not recently, at least. Friends, been there, done that. Spouse, been there, done that. Like, and I think boundaries in relationships are always frowned upon because everybody be like, oh, but that's your person. I don't. I think this is about to be a line for me, like a little tagline. I don't care. Don't care. Could care less. Like, I don't care if you my spouse, my lover, my significant other, which all mean the same thing. I don't care. Boundaries need to be set. You still a person. You a man before you my man. You a man before you a dad. Like, you're allowed to have boundaries. It's okay. I think boundaries are extremely healthy as a matter of fact. Love a good boundary. It's like a steak. They're necessary. And if you're making people feel like having boundaries is an issue, you the issue. Issue. It's you. But have boundaries. In my relationships, I always set boundaries. I like to do stuff by myself. That's a boundary. Of course, we're going to do things together. We're a couple. But I like to do things by myself. Don't include yourself in things that I like to do by myself. Because you're going to upset yourself trying to do so. I'm not changing my boundaries of self time, self care, quality time with me because you feel some type of way. Compromise is a thing as well, but I'm not compromising my boundaries because they're mine. They're mine. We're not compromising boundaries. You will be okay. I think we got to look at stuff in a different way. Boundaries, boundaries should boundaries should signify growth. Boundaries should signify a shift in empowerment. I like that one. Yeah. Yeah, and they should because you shouldn't feel bad for doing what's good for you, no matter what it be. Like, but that's the society we live in. I didn't know being a new adult was going to be like this. I would have stayed in the 90s word. And if anybody's taking applications for anybody that want to go back, I'm first. I won't go back. I want to stay there for like a good month or two because what's going on? Where's Marvin Gaye when you need him? And again, you can love people and have limits. You can love people and have limits. You can love people and have limits. It's okay. It's totally okay. It don't make you a bad person. It don't make you less than. You have to take care of yourself. I can't express that enough. If we don't take care of us, how are we going to show up for other people? Running on E is not cute. Being drained is not cute. Being irritated is not cute. Being annoyed is not cute. Being aggravated is not cute. Stop letting people drain you on your energy. And again, boundaries will reveal who respects you. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's exactly what they will do. You set a boundary with somebody, and it's hard for them to respect your boundary. They don't respect you, or they just don't feel like you're worthy of such things. And never forget that your peace is worth more than anything. I'm just moving way too much, but my ankle hurt. My ankle hurt. Your peace is worth more than anything. Don't ever let nobody make you feel like your boundaries is too much. Don't ever let nobody make you feel like you too much. And if I am, be cool. We can be cool off each other. I gave you a personal story about a friend. In relationships, even I won't even say in my relationships, me wanting a long time wasn't an issue. But I feel like a boundary I've had to set in dating, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people could relate to, is communication. If we are dating, as in getting to know each other, and you think it's okay for us not to speak for like 2 to 3 days at a time, I'm not the person for you. Boundary. You cannot cross that boundary with me when it comes to communication. I'm not dealing with it. Does that make you a bad person? No. And you know what else kills me about boundaries? Specifically in relationships, right? Situationships, dating. You would tell a person what you're not dealing with from the get go. You understand? Because I tell you, like, now, like, dating for me looks extremely different. We're not here to waste each other's time. So from the jump, we're going to talk about our do's and don'ts. And if that's the issue, that's a red flag for me. However, if we have this conversation, we are understanding of each other, we agree that we understand each other, and you still cross my boundary, what Juicy J said on that Tyler Perry. What's that girl name? On that Katy Perry song, what Juicy J say? If you cross my boundary, ain't no coming back. That's it. That's it. If we had a mutual conversation of understanding where we both mutually agreed, I hear where you're coming from. I wouldn't do that to you. And you still do that to me, you don't just act like you don't know me. And like the way I've mastered doing that is not even funny. I will walk past you on the street. You understand? Like I never knew you in my life. Hey, I'm talking. I don't know you. Who are you talking to? I'm talking to you. You don't ask me. I don't. I walk past my aunt on the street. I walk past my aunt on the street. Like what? Like nobody's exempt. And I can honestly say, maybe like when I turned 29, I was like, you got to start giving people, you don't even got to give people what they give you. I'm not even going to say that because you don't even got to be that. You don't even got to scoop that low. Feel me? You don't got to do all that. I literally be chilling. You can't bother me. I'm that unbothered. I will really act like I don't know you. And it's not even an act because who are you? And no, there's no second chances this time around. If we don't work out, we don't work out. People really don't. Outside your family, people really be just thinking they okay. No, no. You cross my boundaries, that's it. You cross my boundaries, that is it. We too old. We too old, and you're not worth my peace. I don't know how much more I can express that. You're not worth my peace. But I really want y'all to take from this episode those three things. You can love people and have limits. Peace is worth it. Your peace is worth everything. And lastly, boundaries will reveal who respects you. If they don't respect you, you'll know. Set a boundary with somebody. You want to know if somebody rock with you, set some boundaries. I know we cool, but I know we cool, but I don't like. I know we cool, however. See what come after that. See what come after that. And just a word of advice. Just because you've been friends with somebody for 20 years don't mean that you necessarily know them like the back of your hand. And it doesn't warrant a space for disrespect. It just don't. I know some people have that, especially black people. They got that stigma like, oh, that's my man. I know him for 20 years. And like, it doesn't give you space to just do what you want to people because you know them for a long time. We gotta stop with that stigma. Boundaries are necessary. I didn't think I was gonna be so in tuned or too much attached to this. I wouldn't say that's not the word I want to use. I wouldn't say attached, but I didn't think this would be relatable for me. But it is. That's nice. It is. It's very much so relatable because we have to set boundaries for people. I'm sorry. I'm just like, yeah. Because when I was writing out my cards for this episode, I'm like, I don't want this to be like a drag, but everybody can relate. At some point in time, you got to set boundaries with people, even when you don't want to. It may not be how you want to either, but they got to happen because people will just drain you. People will drain you like you're a faucet of spring water that don't got chlorophene. What's chlorophene? What is that? That don't got drugs in it. Because y'all know what they do to our water. And if you don't research it, I'm not here for that. No conspiracy theories. Everything is out there. Start reading. I need to read. Read more. Read more and create boundaries. Love yourself and don't let people drain you. Because we're not doing that. It's 2026. People don't respect your boundaries, don't respect you. And if they don't respect you, they don't deserve your time or to be in your life. Because you're a privilege. Word. We're going to close out the show with that. Access to you is a privilege. You can still love somebody deeply and choose you. That's it. That's it. Love you deeply before you love anybody else deeply. And if you don't feel like you could do that, that's what this is for. Bring it here and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But again, we're going to end this episode off. Loving deeply doesn't mean that you can't still choose you. You should always choose you first. Access to you is a privilege. Access to you is a privilege. Don't forget that. Again, access to you is a privilege. I can't express that no more. But y'all need to get that in there. Respectfully. We are going live on Tuesdays on TikTok as well as Facebook. I'm just gonna have two phones running. Live, TikTok and Facebook, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. If the time changes, I will post on my TikTok and my Instagram as well as my Facebook. But the last live we did, it was only two people on there. Shout out to Tori and Stephanie. I understand that things happen, so I don't take nothing personal. I'm just going to show up for myself because that's what I'm going to do. If I set a time and a place to do something, it's going to get done. I don't care how many people is watching. Those who support will and those who have the room to do so, I appreciate it. I'm going to start recording them and then post them on those platforms because I believe you can record a live so you can watch back. Or maybe I'll record the live and just put them as episodes on the YouTube channel as well. I haven't decided what I want to do yet. But yes, moving forward, we will be going live on Tuesdays to discuss the episodes that drop on Sunday. So that's that. I hope everybody have a good week. Remember, you are everything and then some. Don't ever forget that. You. And don't let nobody tell you different. Boundaries, guys. Set boundaries. I'll keep you guys updated on the next theme for the next episode theme. This is not a play. This is not a book. I'll let you know what the next episode is going to be out about via TikTok and Instagram as well as Facebook. I'll keep you guys updated. And again, thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting on the Unique Space. See you guys on the next episode.